Understanding the objectives and background of this International Conference on Early Childhood Development is a critical first step in working towards ECD. For this purpose, I'd like to invite Ms. Khadija Khan, CEO of Pakistan Alliance for Early Childhood, to elaborate on what this conference hopes to achieve.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Honorable Professor Dr. Mukhtar Ahmed, Chairman, Higher Education Commission, distinguished guests, respectful presenters and other delegates, Assalamu alaikum, and a very good morning to you all. On behalf of the conference organizers, I would like to share the objectives and the background of the conference, followed by the expected outcomes. Of course, we would expect some outcomes from this conference, and I will briefly share the format of the conference at the end. As many of you know that we have already organized 3 international conferences on different themes on early childhood development, and this is our 4th international conference. And the previous conferences, as you all might agree with me, that they contributed significantly in improving our understanding about early childhood development, the issues related to early childhood development, and how we can find solutions, indigenous solutions, to promote holistic early childhood development in the country, as well as our colleagues from the Ministry of Planning will share with you that some key steps have been taken for the last some years. I think this momentum was generated by the first conference which we organized in 2017, and then the second conference was organized in 2018, and then 2019. But after 2019, due to COVID, we were not really able to organize big conferences, but we did manage to organize webinars, and we try to reach out to the key stakeholders of ECD even during the pandemic. So the previous conferences also provided opportunities to key stakeholders to sit together, to share their learnings, to share their knowledge and learn from each other, network, and join hands to promote ECD in the whole country. It also, I remember in 2017 when we were planning for the conference, when we advertised for the papers, we only received 20 papers. But now it has become for us very difficult to shortlist the papers, because many of our new researchers, students have started doing research on early childhood development, and not only the number of researchers have increased, the quality of the research work and generating the indigenous knowledge for early childhood development has been promoted by the previous conferences. One key objective which we have set for this conference is we will not only talk about the science of ECD, or we will not only talk about how brain develops, how child develops. We are determined that we will talk about action, what we have to do. We have learned the theory, so now it's the time to translate the theory into practice, into action. And since our Ministry of Planning, Development and Special Initiative is leading this sector, they have already done a lot of work which we'll be sharing over the two days. So you will see that a lot of key milestones have already been achieved. So the action has already started. And I would like to thank our key partners, UNICEF, which is, an amazing support to the ECD sector in Pakistan, in developing the workforce, in advocating for holistic multi-sectoral ECD in the country. We will continue advocate for holistic, inclusive and multi-sector early childhood development. And as I said, our ministry staff will update you on the work they have done with regard to the ECD policy framework, with regard to the ECD standards and ECD index. I think for the first time in Pakistan, they have worked along with other key partners on these key important areas. We will also share Key information, our presenters, our paper presenters, and our keynote speakers will shed light on the how COVID impacted the ECD sector in Pakistan, how climate change affected the ECD in Pakistan, and what are the mitigating measures we should be taking and what we have already taken. In addition to that, we will have presentations on the different dimensions of ECD, which includes the brain development and its contributors as mother and child health, early stimulation, adequate nutrition, safety, play-based learning, and role of positive and responsive parenting and other caregivers. So over the 2 days, you will be attending different presentations in the parallel sessions as well as in the plenary sessions on all these different topics. One of our key note speaker will also talk about the implementation, the status of implementation of nurturing care framework in Pakistan, and she will also talk about, she will give a comparison of what's happening in the region South Asia on the implementation of nurturing care framework and how Pakistan is doing with that and what are the bottlenecks in implementing this nurturing care framework in Pakistan. The expected outcomes, as I said, we have set some outcomes. We will reinforce the understanding of the different phases of early childhood development. We will update our understanding based on the latest research. This will be one of the key outcomes of this conference. And secondly, we will leave this hall with a commitment to implement, to work for early childhood development, to implement the policy which the ministry has already developed. And we advocate for the legislation for early childhood from preconception to 8, because right now there is no such legislation. We will also, as I said, we will focus more on interagency actions to expedite the promotion of holistic, inclusive, and multi-sector ECD services in Pakistan. And most importantly, we have to develop partnerships, public-private partnership, because government cannot alone implement the agenda of early childhood. For that, it's important that everybody should sit together, everybody should join to, to promote ECD in Pakistan. And for that, a coordination mechanism is very, very important at the government level. So the format of the conference is there will be an opening session which is happening right now. And then there will be 2 key plenaries where our national and international keynote speakers will be talking about different topics on ECD. They will be sharing research, latest research and best practices from around the globe. And there will be an exhibition just at the entrance of this academic complex on different ECD models which have already been tested in Pakistan. And then finally, there will be some key workshops during the 2 days on some key topics on early childhood development. And then finally, we will have a closing session on 23rd. Thank you very much.